Good morning. My name is Aaronda Beauford. I am the Director of Communications for Upper Darby School District. Today, the Upper Darby School District joins 17 school districts in a show of solidarity to fight for equitable funding of public schools across the state of Pennsylvania. We have invited you to this press conference to provide you with an opportunity to hear directly from members of the Upper Darby School District community on how fair funding would propel students in our school district to even greater excellence, helping them to achieve their dreams for their futures. You will hear from the president of our school board of directors, from parents, from students, and our superintendent, followed by an opportunity for you to ask questions. I am pleased to ask School Board President Ed Brown to the podium at this time.
Thank you for this opportunity to address you today. My name is Ed Brown, and I stand before you as an Upper Darby School Board Director charged with adhering to multiple tenets. We swear to lead responsibly, govern effectively, plan thoughtfully, evaluate continuously, communicate clearly, and act ethically. One of the most important tenets is to advocate earnestly for a thorough and efficient system of public education. Serving in this capacity is a labor of love that I take seriously because the children in our community deserve nothing but the best that life has to offer. You know what gets in the way of that mission? Fair funding. The Upper Darby School District is underfunded by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania by $16 million a year. That means every year we don't get our fair share from the state of Pennsylvania. That means our children have to go without the things that they need due to no fault of their own. No matter what we have to educate our children, we have to educate our children, improve our facilities, and handle increasing enrollment as best we can. That means as school board directors, we have to make hard decisions, such as how much do we raise taxes or what programs should we cut. The taxpayers deserve better than being forced to meet the gap that the state doesn't fill. The students deserve better than being forced to go without the very best education that we can provide. The reality is that every year we as a board are forced to do more with less due to the underfunding, and it's time we get our fair share so that we can maximize our potential as a district. We are here today to talk about fair funding. I'd much rather be here talking about Baldwin Elementary School's amazing work with Google Classroom, or Hillcrest Elementary School's work with the new reading program, or Highland Park's Elementary School's Watchdog program, where fathers, grandfathers, uncles, brothers, and guardians are all taking a day off from work to volunteer in the school during the year. Or I'd love to tell you about all of the favorite things that the students love about agronomy, or the amazing singers and performers that Barbara Begley cultivates year after year after year. I'd much rather talk about Beverly Hills Grit Run, or Drexel Hill's Hero Day Ceremony, or how Gariford's welcomed illustrator E.B. Lewis to talk to and inspire our students. I'd rather talk about the great education that Upper Darby provided to my sons, who are both studying in college on scholarships and have interned at a Fortune 500 company. But I can't talk about any of those things because we're here to talk about fair funding. The reality is, I know that we do an amazing job with the financial hand that we're dealt, no matter how unfair or unequitable it is. I can only imagine the heights that our students would ascend and the milestones that we reach if only we got our fair share. Can you? I'm an eternal optimist, so I'd like to think at some point the state would do the right thing and fund us fairly. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Debra Williams. I'm a parent in this district to an amazing 11th grader. Gavin, he's here at the high school. Just to give you a brief bio, Gavin's a dual enrollment student at Delaware County Community College. He has just registered for his third 3-credit course there. He works 18 hours per week. He is a band, orchestra, and choir student. I've also enjoyed watching him in many summer stage productions over the years. Gavin was also one of 2 high school students represented at Widener University's 2019 Summer Business Camp. I'm not sharing these things with you to brag, although I do share my son with you, because Upper Darby School District is amazing. Our district produces resilient, well-rounded children, ready to handle the challenges that they will come up against in life. Our teachers help our students build character, and they allow them to grow. Our strength lies not only in our awesome, diverse student body, but also our excellent leadership here. I was proud to watch my son and that other student at that business camp this summer learn how to market themselves. I was also proud as they both introduced themselves as Upper Darby High School students among those other 23 students in the room from other districts across Pennsylvania and also Delaware. Both my son and that other student will be successful and have the resources that they need to succeed. But just think about how much more the district could offer our students with more resources. What is the definition of fair? When you think about fair, what comes to mind? Just, equitable, unbiased, impartial, legitimate, lawful. No matter what definition or synonym is used, our funding has fallen short. Our children have been done a disservice. Our children are entitled to the same education and the same resources in Upper Darby School District that every other district gets. Our children deserve the best curriculum with unlimited online resources and teacher support. They deserve top-of-the-line facilities and upgraded technology. Our students, although gifted, still need a competitive edge as they enter university, the workforce, and the world. Even with limited resources, our district continues to do an amazing job of graduating scholars from the district that go on to do remarkable things. So just a hats off to Upper Darby School District. But parents, let's advocate for our children as we are the true voices for our district. Thank you.
All right, thank you for this opportunity to address the Commonwealth around equitable funding. So public school funding has a real impact on the health and well-being of my children and the children who are here and across Pennsylvania. So I'm the parent of two children, one in the middle school and one at the high school. And I believe that the leadership of Upper Darby School District is making do with what we have. They're doing the best job that they can with the kind of funding that we're receiving from the state. But I don't want to just make do for my children and for all the other children who attend public schools. So I'm the son of an immigrant, and my mother pushed me to receive the best education that I could do, that I could make, that I could work through. And so I'm doing the same for my children. I want the best for my children, as do all the parents whose children attend public schools throughout Pennsylvania. So the best means that when my daughter plays sports or performs in marching band, she has everything the team needs to compete competitively with other schools. And the teacher coaches, the music directors have all the equipment and supplies to make that happen. The best means that when my son participates in theater and arts activities, he finds that these programs have resources to fund scenes, props, costumes, and other things that make the effort he puts into theater worthwhile. So we are now expecting our children, my children, to do the best that they can in school. You probably hear it every day. I say it to my children every day. I expect no less from the legislatures who fund our schools. They are not doing the best that they can to fund all of our schools adequately. If I expect my child and all the other children to come to school prepared and to work hard, then I expect that the people who we elect to fund our schools throughout the Commonwealth to do just the same thing. So currently, we are making just do. How is this okay? It's not okay. It's not okay to just do. So I stand here with parents, students, my superintendent, board directors, to say the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's current education budget falls short of what Upper Darby School District needs. We demand adequate and equitable state funding. So I thank all the parents and the school directors and the superintendent and our leadership, because they are working not just to provide my children and you with an excellent education, but they are also going to the legislation. They are also traveling to Harrisburg. They are also talking with the people that need to release these funds, and they're talking with them every day. So we need to have them work on our behalf with our support as parents. So again, I thank you for this opportunity to stand with you to get adequate and equitable funding for all the public schools in Pennsylvania.
Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Baldwin. I am a resident of Upper Darby School District. I am a parent of 2 Upper Darby School District students, one at Westbrook Park Elementary and one at Drexel Hill Middle School. I am the home and school president at Westbrook Park Elementary, and I am an employee of Aaronda Elementary School. So I have my hand in a lot of different parts of Upper Darby School District. Not quite the high school yet, we're getting there. But I stand here today and I wear this logo proud. You know, my husband went to Frankfurt High School, which is, not Frankfurt, I'm sorry. My husband went to North Catholic High School, which is no longer there, it's been closed down. Every single shirt in his closet is a North Catholic High School shirt. Every single one. We go down the shore and every single person that we walk past goes, oh, hi, class of 1971. Oh, hi, class 1986. We went to Virginia and people were coming up to him on the beach of Virginia saying, oh, I went to North Catholic. And it's an amazing feeling to have that pride in your school. And it's a school that's not even there anymore. And one of the reasons is because they had such great community and such great programs there. And I want that for my children. I want them to wear their Upper Darby School District with pride. I want them to walk down the street after they graduate and say, hey, listen, I was class of, I didn't do the math, I was class of whatever. And they should have that. Part of having that is having the education, having the resources that are needed in the school. I'll tell you what, there is a shoestring budget, and they do an amazing job in this school district. My daughter this year, I didn't know this was even a thing, has electives in middle school. I went to Catholic school, we didn't have that choice. They had electives in middle school. So right now, she's doing rock wall climbing. She's doing music technology. She's 2 different art programs. What she needs help in is something that we don't provide. She needs after-school tutoring. I don't know the math. I don't. I have to Google it every time she has a question. I don't have a clue how this new math works, and we do our best. But she needs after-school tutoring, so I looked into it. It's $40 for 1 hour of tutoring. I, as a parent, can't afford that. I just can't. And thankfully, she's a great math teacher who does talk to her during lunch, does help her out. But she would really benefit from a program that could be funded by the school district if we had fair funding. Things like that. My son is really into sports, and I try to do as many sports with him as I can. They're expensive. They're expensive on the elementary level. It cost me $70 for him to do basketball. It cost me over $100 for him to do baseball, and over $100 for him to do football. These would be great programs for after school if we had the funding. It would give children a place to go. I know that in the high school, yes, they have a mechanics, I'm sure I'm not saying it right, but a mechanics class, and I believe that they have a home economics class. I kind of looked into it, but like I said, I don't have a kid in high school. My daughter asks all the time about cooking classes. It would be a great program for her to have after school. And we have the facilities for it. We don't have the funding for it. We don't have the staff for it. My daughter was, I mentioned her electives. She was fortunate enough to get every single one of her electives. She is one of the only students that was able to do that. Many of the students may have only gotten one. Some of them got none because there wasn't enough teachers, or there wasn't enough facilities, because we don't have the funding. If we had the funding, these are things that the kids, every kid knows that they have to do math, that they have to do English, that they have to do history. They're the classes they have to take. These other classes are the classes that give them confidence. These are the things they love to do. That confidence, absorbing that, that's what the kids need. That gives them self-esteem and makes them hold their heads up high. We need funding for these things, and they should be able to have it. Every child has the right to thrive. Every child has the right to succeed. But the funds need to be in the school because the school is where that starts. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to meet you. I'm John Byrne, and I'm the class president for the freshman class of 2023. It was John F. Kennedy who said that all of us should have an equal opportunity to develop our talent. He said that 60 years ago. Now today, almost 60 years later, I'm looking around, and I have to ask, what does that mean to you? I've been a student at the Upper Darby School District for my whole life, from Hillcrest all the way up to Upper Darby High School. And saying that to you today, it's an honor. The knowledge I've gotten at school, the quality of the education I've been given thus far, what the Upper Darby School District has given me, the opportunities, it's nothing short of excellence. Today, I would like to speak to you, and I'd like to tell you how amazing it is being an Upper Darby student, talking about things that have personally impacted my life, and most importantly, how important it is to me and to my classmates that we are treated equally and given the opportunities that are right and that are fair. I grew up in Drexel Hill in the same house and in the same neighborhood my whole life. I went to Hillcrest Elementary School and I went to Drexel Hill Middle School. I have two siblings, Lloyd and Tiff, and they're alumni of the Upper Darby High School. They're part of the school district their whole lives as well. They were on the honors track, they took AP courses in high school, and I'm trying to follow in their footsteps. My parents, Tess and Rob, although they were separated, they stopped at nothing to make sure that I could get the best education that I could have ever possibly gotten. My mother, Tess, is an Asian American immigrant, and she's from the Philippines. And she does everything in her power and works heavy work weeks just to sacrifice for us, me and my siblings. My father, Rob, he served in the United States Air Force. He's a veteran. He's had life-threatening experiences when he was stationed overseas, and much of his life he's faced adversity. He never ever seems to fail to have courage, and he never ever fails to be righteous to my siblings and I. He's one of my role models, and I want to strive to have half as much courage as he does. My parents, with what little they have sacrificed everything to put me in the place that I am today. That is why earlier you looked and you noticed, and I asked you, what does equal opportunity mean to you? Equal opportunity, for you guys, it's just another buzzword, but for me, it means the world. It means the world to my classmates. It means the world to us. It decides what college I'm going to go to. What my career is going to be, the lives of my siblings, the lives of my parents, the lives of my future kids. So what may seem like allocating numbers on a spreadsheet, fair funding impacts my life. Fair funding impacts my classmates' lives. Fair funding impacts the lives of generations upon generation. It's how our youth is built. We are underfunded by $19 million a year. Despite not receiving the equal funding we deserve, Upper Darby School District still provides us with amazing courses. I mean, I take AP classes, and I'm a freshman. We have amazing athletic programs. Our freshman football team went 8-2. We have amazing theater and music programs, some of the top in the country. I could really go on for days and days, everything we do right with what little we have. With that being said, fair funding is still an issue. We're expected to take the same state tests. We're expected to be on the same playing field. All the while, we're underfunded by $19 million. In addition to being underfunded and under-resourced, the resources we do have are being spread thin for a simple reason. We just have so many students. Our school district has put down an elaborate plan to build new schools, to improve existing ones, and to de-stress a lot of the overcrowded schools. And most importantly, it's financially sensible as well. You go down to the middle schools like I have, you talk to any of the teachers, you talk to any of the counselors, You look and you see that our schools, they're being filled to the brim. Why should our quality of education depend on things we can't control? We can't control where we're born as kids. We can't control what zip code we happen to fall into. What we can control is what resources we get through equal and fair funding. We need equal funding to prevent schools from being overcrowded so that we can guarantee everybody is getting the attention they need, the resources they need, and everyone is learning the lessons they need. I bet once we get that through equal and fair funding, what you'll see is better academic performance, better test scores, better behaved students. I guarantee you, you're going to see the best of us here at Upper Darby. Together, let's do whatever is possible to make sure that our students and that our children get the care that they need. I want you to take this opportunity to invest in us today and to invest in our futures. When you look and you see that our school district has already been giving us such amazing opportunities with what little they've had, if our funding was equal, you could only imagine what we could accomplish. We at Upper Darby, we're the #1 most diverse school district in Pennsylvania. That is an honor for me to say up here today. And we have something to say to you. We are your future business owners. We are your future executives. We are your future politicians. We are your future doctors. We're your future lawyers, your future engineers, your future actors. We are your future athletes, your future professors, your future programmers. And we are the future. I've told you what it means to me. I've told you what it means to my classmates. And now I want you to ask yourself again, what does equal opportunity mean to you?
Good afternoon, my respected teachers, principals, and administrations, and students. My name is Kiran Shazadi, and I'm a senior at Upper Darby High School. It is my honor to be here today. My Upper Darby experience has been amazing and has been filled with many opportunities to succeed and grow. After high school, my goal in life is to become a pilot, and I want to fulfill this dream by being part of the U.S. Air Force and ROTC. One of the opportunities that high school has provided me with, and I'm really grateful for, is being able to know what I want to do in the future. The Upper Darby School District has exposed me to so many experiences that have helped me to build on my dream. Upper Darby has so many events where I was able to meet the Air Force recruiters. Every student, every teacher in high school are supporting me to pursue on my dreams. High school has fully prepared me for what lies beyond by providing me with inspiring teachers, counselors who have pushed me outside of my comfortable boundaries. I have seen students from many different backgrounds who work together to accomplish their goals and respect each other through it all. Upper Darby is composed of students from over 50 different countries and countries speaking over 70 different languages. Multiculturalism plays an important role in my education because I get to learn about other cultures and religions. I have become aware of other people's background and have learned to respect the human race as a collective unit. This is Upper Darby School District. I am one of the student board representative. I am the liaison between the board and Upper Darby student body. In October, Lamia, my core board representative, and I decided to visit another school in the district, our former middle school, Beverly Hills Middle School. While it was easy to notice the liveliness of the school, we recognized the need for more space. Not only did the hallways seem congested, but we also walked into a classroom with over 30 students in them. Teachers barely had any room to walk around the classroom. We decided to talk to some of the teachers about what we saw, and they all agreed the school was too small for 1,500 students, and that students deserve better, that they would benefit greatly from the renovations of the facilities. The teachers and Dr. Yerson agreed that district's proposed action of building a new middle school would have an enormously positive impact on not only the climate and culture of the students, but the academic and behavioral successes of the students. Could you imagine what a school of 1,500 students minus 500 in classrooms, in the hallways, en route to and from school would be for the students and teachers who work and learn there? It would be a game changer. With proper funding, the overcrowding would be eased, and the students would get more of the resources that they need to be successful. We all know that a proper and good education can shape our futures and professional careers. Education can provide solutions to the most important issues we face today, such as corruption, terrorism, climate change, and gun violence. Learning is a process which starts from the moment we open our eyes and continues until we take our last breath. We all inhabit in the same country and on a larger scale, the same planet. However, not everyone gets the same opportunities afforded to them. As a proud student of Upper Darby High School, I must state that I am very grateful for the education and opportunities that I have received over the last 8 years. I am proud to be part of such diverse district. I am proud because I have the best teachers, counselors, principals, board members, and administration. I am proud because one is a royal, one is always a royal. I'm proud because we like to work as a team. I'm sure that I'm not alone in my pride. But if we are to acknowledge our points of pride, then we must also acknowledge the fact that we can make this district even better if we give the same opportunities to our students that the other districts give to their students. We cannot do this without fair funding. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, once said, "A father gives his child anything better than good education." Not wealth, not gold, not empires, not assets. It is a good education that is the best gift a father can provide to his children. I am your child. We are your kids. All the high school, middle school, and elementary school students are your children. And your children are asking for your help so that they can grow. If this is a team effort to help our children, like everyone says it is, let's all work on our mission, because at the end of the day, some of these same students will be doctors, engineers, pilots, and maybe some of them will be sitting here to give back to their community. If we continue like the way it is today, and it was yesterday, then us students are being robbed of tomorrow. You guys have the most impressive job on this planet. You build, you create, you teach, and you respect the importance of education. If you say that you care about our future, then you really have to commit. If you are worrying about how you can prepare the student for tomorrow, then the answer is simple. Stand behind what you say you want for the children of America and the children of Pennsylvania. Fund our school, all of our schools, fairly. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanveer, and I'm a secretary for the freshman class here at Upper Darby High School. Here at UD, I've always felt like I've belonged here. Here at Upper Darby, we are a diverse group of students with over 70 different languages spoken in our school district. As a freshman, life can be pretty hectic, not knowing where your classes are, needing course changes, and so on. Our staff has always been there for us. At the high school, there are many extracurricular activities to participate in, such as the Royal Revolution, DECA, and the FELA. These are just a few of the many activities we have to offer. This shows what we already do with our scale of funding and what we can do with the appropriate margin if we receive it. As a student in the Upper Darby School District, I feel very strongly about fair funding. As you may know, many schools in Pennsylvania are impacted by inadequate funding. On another note, many urban schools aren't able to generate additional revenue to finance a quality education for many students, therefore having to raise taxes. In these urban communities, many of the residents in these communities are people of color, immigrants, and people in borderline poverty. Raising local taxes doesn't relieve much of the stress. Urban schools are expected to do better without many of the same resources as their suburban counterparts. The quality of our education should not rely on our zip codes. We are the collective future of this country, and you're holding many kids back from reaching their full potential due to the lack of funding. We call on all of you to get us the funding we truly deserve in order to ensure that Upper Darby kids can get the best education they can get and to make us all proud. We want to have the best facilities and resources for our students to learn and grow, not just as students, but also as people. We want to make sure our kids are successful and that they can learn with the best resources. We ask for your help to stay to the state of Pennsylvania. We need more funding, and it shouldn't be a privilege because of your zip code, but rather as a right as an American child.
My name is Daanish. I am a 9th grader here at Upper Darby. Up until this day, I can say without fail that the best experiences I've had so far are in this district. I've made friends that I still know for years. Example right there. I've made plenty of friends. I've had plenty of good experiences. My family moved here after me and my brother were born from Bronx, New York. We moved here when we were around 9 months, and we've been in this district, in this very zip code ever since. We've lived in the same neighborhood, seen the same people for our entire lives. You've got families and children doing the same thing around here. every person in this district has a goal, has an opportunity, or they have the motivation to do something that many others would want to do as well. They all come and work together for what they want to do. Humanity has to move forward using not just their hands, but they need tools. If, say, somebody wanted to break down that wall, would you do it with a sledgehammer or would you do it with a fork? You'd use a hammer, because you can't break much with a fork. That's what this district needs. Being underfunded by $16 million, that is comparing us to other districts who aren't underfunded the same way. If you want us to continue doing the same things that others are doing, take the same tests, get the same scores, perform the exact same, we can't do that if we don't have the same tools, the same resources, same opportunities. Upper Darby High School has plenty of different, let's say, clubs and activities if students are interested in any of them. If they want to paint, you can do that. If you want sports, soccer, football, tennis, we've got that. You want to do botany, we have that. Style hair, we have that. There's no shortage of opportunities and resources here, but when it comes to funding those resources, we can't do that. Everybody here is already trying to do the best they can, but you can only get so far. Some kids need a little extra help, but if you have 30 kids to a classroom, they can't get that. They can try, but it won't work. I was talking to a teacher just a few days ago. He was my old teacher, 7th grade social studies. He's drowning with how many kids he's having to teach. It's 30 plus kids to his classroom each class. That's, 8 hours a day? He can't do that. Kids that need help, they can't do that. Living in 19082 or 19026 shouldn't put us all at a disadvantage like that. If anything, it should help us. You got dozens of countries, 70 languages. We should all have the same resources that our districts have, receive funding just the same, and hopefully one day students that are here will move straight back here and their families will go to the same schools. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lamia and I am a senior at Upper Darby High School. I have been honored to obtain my entire education from Upper Darby High School District, and it has truly been a gift. It is an opportunity my younger brother will also be able to receive as he graduates elementary school this year. During my Upper Darby educational experience, I have won many awards and I have gained a tremendous amount of knowledge. The best thing Upper Darby did for me, though, is build my character. You see, for a long time, my father was the sole provider for our family, and it wasn't until this year that my mother finally got a job. However, along with all our financial issues, Upper Darby High School has always been there for me from the very start. I came to the high school thinking I'd be a nobody, because my family isn't as financially well off as others, and that was the furthest thing from the truth. This school brings together a bit of everybody and everything. Never did I feel like a nobody. In fact, I'm one of the student representatives to the school board. Through this school, I was able to join after-school activities such as marching band, orchestra, College Possible, and many others where I have made my closest friends. Through these activities and my regular classes, I learned great time management skills, and most importantly, I learned how to be a caring and humble person. Every day I realized I wasn't above or below anybody. I worked hard for everything that I accomplished in this school, as do most of my fellow classmates. After graduating from Upper Darby High School in June, I'd like to go to college for pre-medical studies. Some of the colleges I'm interested in are Bryn Mawr, Jefferson, Temple. My life goal is to be a trauma surgeon. Of course, none of my dreams and aspirations are possible without Upper Darby High School. This is where I started. Everyone needs an educational environment in which they feel safe, comfortable, enabling them to be proud of their accomplishments. Upper Darby High School is that place for me. I don't want to step out of here just as another student from UD, because that's what everyone seems to think that we are, but we're not. I dare say I want the rest of the world to know how proud I am to be a member of this community and a proud alumnus of Upper Darby High School. I want the world to look at any one of the graduates from here and think this is the representation of excellence. Of course, this will only remain a dream if we aren't funded properly. We are an extremely diverse school with families of all different economic backgrounds. We cannot compete with other schools who have students from the same socioeconomic backgrounds. It just doesn't work like that. How we are to compete and demonstrate educational achievement every day without proper funding. So, my fellow state representatives, I have a simple favor and a simple poem just for you. And I'd like to call it, What I Ask of You. I bring with me the stories of thousands told. These are the stories of the people of the fortress of purple and gold. While the years are new, the issues are old. I can't believe I'm treated unfairly due to my zip code. You see, I say we're blessed with what is known as diversity. So why do you see it as an adversity? All I ask is that you fund us properly, so the fathers and mothers working double shifts can rest peacefully. Our social classes aren't the same, we all struggle differently, but I know for a fact we want to live and succeed wholeheartedly. There shouldn't be competition in education, there should be unity. Help us have that opportunity. Help us live up to the expectations of the community. I'm not asking you to vote me. I have a simple plea. I ask you to fund us properly. Don't you think this will affect the future generations? Don't you think they'll be more concerned about money? Help us help them see the beauty of literacy. Be the fuel to our fire. Be part of the reason why we can change our dreams to reality. I promise you, we will make our own way and succeed equally. We will return to this fortress of purple and gold. We will be the change that we want to see. Thank you.
That's emotional. I'm not a crier, but I will say that awesome job. And to the students that are here, we intentionally wanted you to hear this today. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Across the Commonwealth, other superintendents are holding a press conference similar to the one we are holding right now. Each of us has agreed to deliver a message about the need for more fairly funded schools. It is not without coincidence that we have selected December 5th for its historic reminder of the work of Rosa Parks, but also as a focal point for the inequities that still exist in this country some 64 years later. What is the message? In this very building, there are over 3,700 students in grades 9 through 12, and this is just our high school. In this building, there are 70 different languages represented, and a student body whose diversity would be the envy of any Fortune 500 company or college or university campus. And we have it every single day right here. Upper Darby School District represents the American dream of opportunity through education. You heard it from our board president, our parents, our students. The schools in this community provide an opportunity for a better life. While we certainly are not provided the financial support the state and federal government have promised, we are rich. Despite the very attack on public schools, we excel. We have students attending some of the best colleges in the country, and we have students eager and ready to take on the world, and I mean the world. The lack of funding for our district and schools like ours continues to put pressure on our teachers, our administrators, our school boards, our taxpayers, and in all reality, puts pressure on our kids. We are united, however, in our belief that public education should be the #1 priority on a national and state level. The state and federal governments have set the rules and laws, requirements for Title I schools, special education and IDEA mandates, English learner standards, state testing, college and career planning, and the list goes on and on and on. But the funding does not. I think we would all agree that our schools should help develop well-rounded, thoughtful, happy, healthy, and civically minded graduates. What is the cost to provide such an education? Is it $14,000 per student or $30,000 per student? When you hear those figures, can you imagine comparing a school district who is only able to provide $14,000 per student to a school district who can afford $30,000 per student? How about these additional factors? The $14,000 per student school district has over 1,000 English learners, over 2,000 students in need of special education services. Over 60% of its population is economically disadvantaged, and there are students who are in foster care and who are homeless. Yet we literally pit this same school district against a district whose demographics are far different. What is the point? In Delaware County, I'm so fortunate to be surrounded by some of the wealthiest districts in the state and some of the highest performing districts in the state. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the work of my colleagues, the work of other local board of school directors, and the effort of each of their staffs. This should not be about creating opposition. The discussion should be on what is best for kids and how do we all make sure those resources are available to the students who attend public schools in this country and in this state. This is about the research on the importance of students reading on grade level by 3rd grade, indisputable research. This is about the research on the effects trauma have on students and their learning. And this is about our country and this state investing in our future. Right here in Upper Darby, we are often unjustly compared to some of our other local county school districts who are providing an education that is oftentimes tens of thousands of dollars more per pupil than we can provide. I find the comparison divisive and oftentimes insulting to not only our school district, but to the other school districts in our county. The constant focus on how much one school district can provide its students pits us against one another. While our school district is without question underfunded, between $16 to $19 million considering special education funding, we continue to show those who doubt us that we are nothing short of excellent. We are not here to cry about the lack of funding, however. We're here to celebrate who we are and what we accomplished, despite the clear and specific attack of public schools in communities such as ours. The students you heard from today represent our community. Each and every year, over 800 students graduate from this high school. Our students know that you have the opportunity to do the right thing and fund our school system and public education. As a 1996 graduate of this district and this high school, I have and will continue to educate my fellow Royals that are here today on all of these points. If you do not believe in us and you do not believe in this community, we will figure it out. We will unite, we will capitalize on the opportunities we have, and we will reach excellence. In the end, our students will number in thousands, and I mean in the thousands, and we will be more than able to take on the responsibility to make the decisions others have failed to make. Our network is growing, and our school system and students are becoming more and more aware of the deliberate indifference to properly fund our schools. Do the right thing. Take care of the kids, take care of our future. Thank you for taking the time to attend this today. We're certainly available for any questions that might be out there for us.